We have been telling folks for months now that the lakes are full and the river is full and that we have the potential for a dangerous flooding situation. I don't know right now just how bad it's going to be. It does appear that we're going to have some flooding in some homes in the low-lying areas of Lake Travis. We're looking at being somewhere between the 690 and 695 area.
We'll be about right here. The slab we're sitting on is about 691, so you know we'll be about like this if we come up tomorrow, if that's what they predict.
695 will be in my garage about a foot deep. I'm waiting on a truck right now that ought to be here about 2 or 2:30, and we'll wait till the night or in the morning before we load it. But once it gets to 91 or 92, I'll start loading on my garage and my downstairs game room.
From 695 on up to the 700 range really depends on how much rain we get this afternoon.
We had never seen a gate open, so they said they were opening at 12. We got out here just as they opened the second one. It's a smaller one.
The Ferdinand is all the way below, all the way to San Antonio.
We had 10 to 12 inches of rain in the Pedernales. These are accurate.
This time we're going to have some gates open on Lake Travis, but there is the potential that we could have to close some gates on Travis once we've opened them based on the downstream. The way we do this is we have our forecasted lake levels versus our forecasted river levels. And we've got some room downstream, so we're opening up the gates. When the river gets full downstream, then we're going to have to shut some gates.
We're just trying to get our family to safety, get them out of the way. Our concern is we have another son, daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren that were on their way here. They should have been here like 3 hours ago, and we don't know where they are.
It's just hard to see it being tore up. We've had the best spot on the lake. We've kept it that way, and inside of 8-9 months now, we've had 3 big floods. It's nobody's fault. It's just that.
Well, this is at the bridge here in Llano, and the water line was back up to this point. You can see how the grass is laid over here. And it was 38.5 foot last night, which probably put it about 3 foot below that bridge there, to give you an idea how much water there was coming through here.
11:30, 12 o'clock, I went down to Kingsland. My son lives down there. Him and his wife live on the water. When I got down there at 11:30, the lake was starting to come up a little bit. Nobody's real concerned. By 12 o'clock, it was rolling. By 1:30, it was up to the high water mark back in 1991, and by 3 o'clock it was 2 foot from their house. Boat docks started leaving, boats came by, they dominoed one boat dock against the other, they crashed into each other, wiped out the whole bank of boat docks.
The water in here actually got higher than took the boats and took them completely through the roof of the boat docks. See, the water here is already receded probably 4 feet,
There's a watermark halfway up the window, or over halfway. That's Nigel's house. That's one of the rangers. He had to leave out in the middle of the night. This other boat here is way up in the people's yard. You know,
When have they dragged it up there?
No, that's where it floated up there. That's where it floated up. That's how high. It floated up there last night, and then the water's gone back down. Right in this area last night, which this is the Llano Arm, right out in front of Lyons Park here, there was about a 10-foot standing wave going from here that was over 100 feet long from one end of the wave to the other.
In this area here, we were trying to move the boats up here. It was hitting so hard, it was surging into here. We had a young lady on the boat that we were trying to move them. At one point, we thought the boat was going to take her on off, and it receded enough for us to scream for her to jump, and she jumped off. Her dad was in the tree there tying up a jet boat. It was devastating, that's all, just absolutely devastating.
And all these boathouses, that's what's left of the boathouses. The boathouses break loose up there. They float this far. When they hit the bridge, they just turn upside down and go into pieces. Edith, at noon, they're going to have 4 gates open on Buchanan, so there may be some more water come down. Yes, ma'am. So, lots of water. We're going to open up 2 floodgates at 12, and then we're going to open up another 1 or 2 about 1 or 2 o'clock. So there's going to be a lot of water pulled through that direction over there. Where's this going? Let me get this pour down here. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, let's go.
Yeah, we got gate number 14 all the way open at 12:10.
The next floodgate will be floodgate 16 at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, 10-4.
This rain event, flood event, is approaching the 1991 Christmas flood levels, as we've all been talking about the last several days. By this evening, by 5 o'clock, we will have 6 gates open at Lake Buchanan Dam. That's equal to the amount of water that we had coming out of Lake Buchanan during the Christmas of '91 flood. We expect Lake Travis to be at near record levels. We could easily have 500 to 600 homes with some level of damage as a result of this flood event. That's a lot of folks.
Now, as you might know, Lake Travis has been in the flood pool for several weeks now. And Jim, a lot of people are asking, why didn't they let go some of this water before now to maybe avoid some of this?
Well, that is a good question, but they were risking flooding downstream if that happened. Lake Travis had been in the flood pool for several weeks, but the river level was very high downstream. Bastrop, LaGrange, communities all the way down to the coast would have risked being flooded had they opened the floodgates and let that water out early. No one had any way of knowing, of course, that we might get a foot of rain over the Pedernales River, a foot of rain over the Llano River at the same time, the same nights. It's an incredible event that took place over the weekend.
Good morning, LCRA. May I help you?
Tuesday morning, and what people are calling now about is what's happening at Lake Travis, what is it expected to go to, and how much higher might it go in terms of flooding of neighborhoods around the lake. Looks like it's going to continue to rise another several feet during the day, getting up to the 708 to 710 level in the next 24 hours.
LBJ right now, up to 3 gates will be open on Tom Miller by 9:30 a.m.
Starkey Dam has 10 gates open. Worth's Dam is now down to 8 gates open. Latest on Travis, we have 3 now. A 4th will be opened on Mansfield Dam at 7 a.m. this morning, and perhaps a 5th one later tonight or tomorrow. That's the latest from the LCRA.
Country over the weekend, though. Lake Travis now projected, of course, to get close to that all-time record flood level of 1991. Russ Ray joins us live from Mansfield.
We went from 12 sites previously to 40 now because we figured that we really needed to get a better grasp of the bacteria levels in the lake with the upcoming 4th of July weekend. Felt that it was fairly important for the public to be able to know exactly what they were getting into.
Once the samples are collected, they bring them into the laboratory where we log them in and immediately bring them back here to the microbiology lab and have them set up for analysis. And in addition to those 40 samples from the watershed management group, we've been receiving samples from the general public in the Highland Lakes area.
You should have had water coming down that lake long before Sunday night or Sunday morning.
And to me, it just seemed like common sense to start running 10, 15 feet of water early Sunday. And I gotta believe that would have made a difference.
No one in this room can tell me at 8 o'clock in the morning where the rain's gonna go at 10 o'clock at night. And no one in this room, if you really backed off and thought about it, would put yourself in that situation of guessing on the rain. Did anybody know at 10 o'clock at night, even at 10 o'clock at night, what the gauge was going to? So what we do is the rain falls, and we read the gauges, and we know the travel time, and we know the sequencing, and we know that it's 8 hours to get the water from Mason on down. We know where it's coming, and we know the gate sequencing. And as the water comes through, we move it. And we match the crest. And we get it through because we know it's coming. It may not meet your expectation as a homeowner because I can't tell you based on that kind of a decision whether or not the water's going to get in your house on the floodplain or not. And I understand that. And I come into this room and I tell you that. And I tell you that up front.
I think they absolutely have to manage the entire length of the lake system, not just one system. And if Travis has to rise in order to, as a variable level lake, in order to make the constant level lakes do what the design was, then that's what has to be done. But it's always somebody else's ox should be gored, not the person whose house is built in the floodplain, which was there at the time the dam was built. They need to understand that's how it's played.
We're getting just about everything that there would be in a household, from carpets to refrigerators, stoves, just miscellaneous garage material. We're getting a real good positive reaction from a lot of the Kingsland folks. They're really appreciative of us being out here.
Are you glad to have a place to bring this stuff?
Oh, heaven, yes. I don't know what we'd do if they hadn't put this out. Really, it would have been completely as tragic as it was, but it would have been much worse had they not had someone to take care of this material. And I deeply appreciate it myself.
This river has a history of big storms and dangerous flooding. And just because we've built some dams and created some lakes, we have not fully mitigated that, and we don't have the money, we don't have the resources, or a lake really, frankly, big enough to do that. So that's the sobering message that we all have to take out of here, is that this event could happen again.
We all know how annoying and expensive water leaks around the house can be. Now imagine maintaining the water system for an entire city. That's where these guys come in. Donald Vickers and Sam Godfrey make up LCRA's leak detection team. The program was started 11 years ago with the goal of helping LCRA's water customers conserve water and save money. They use very sensitive microphones and headsets to locate underground water leaks.
We're surveying here at Hurst Creek Mud, trying to help them identify some water leaks, and we're going to be surveying this street and listening down here, trying to locate problems. And we're going to start right up here on this first meter box and work our way down the road.
Go ahead and check it. Yeah, we definitely have a leak here. It's probably on the main side, though.
Sounds like a 747 on the runway, fixing to take off. There's a big leak on this service somewhere.
We'll go out and we'll ground mic the street and see if we can't locate it right to where exactly it is. It's so loud right here that we're right on top of it. That's for sure.
It's probably right here where it comes out of the main. The main runs right here off the road. So we'll probably get them to dig right here. What we do is we go in, talk to the utility director, get maps and information, and then we go in and start listening. We go in and listen on all the valves, fire hydrants, any exposed mains, all the services to identify water leak sounds. And then when we find a water leak sound, we identify the exact location, and the utility comes in and digs it up, helps them conserve water, save water, money, and increase their revenues.
Before long, the source of the problem is uncovered. This time, a piece of poly pipe had a very small leak, which eventually caused it to rupture.
And every water system has a few leaks, and they can be big ones and you don't know it, or they can be a lot of little ones. And these guys are real good at what they do. They can find these leaks ultrasonically and actually pinpoint them, and that's what they've done here on this leak. So we don't have to dig up a lot of line to find the leak. So I think it's a great program. I think it's one of the best things the LCRA does.
The leak detection van is equipped with a special computer that also helps pinpoint problems.
What this will do is you can actually take these other two pieces of equipment and you'll set them up on valves, and then you can punch in the size of the main line and your distance and stuff like that, and then you'll correlate it, and this will actually pinpoint and give you a distance in between two locations of where the leak's at.
Godfrey says that one of their best pieces of detective work happened in Kingsland, where they tracked a 40-gallon-per-minute leak to a pipeline underwater in the lake. To learn more about LCRA's leak detection program, call 800-776-5272, extension 2874. A capacity crowd was on hand at the boardroom recently for the presentation of the 1997 LCRA Scholarship Awards. This is the 10-year anniversary of the scholarship program, which has honored a total of 69 outstanding students from all over Central Texas. Winning students receive $2,000 a year for college, plus an internship at the LCRA. The scholarship recipients this year are Michael Antosh, the salutatorian at Weimer High School, Levi Cash IV from Lomita High School, Samantha Costanuela, valedictorian of Eden High School, Natalia Sonjic from Westwood High School, Tanya McLaughlin, valedictorian of Marion High School, Melissa Oller, valedictorian of Ingram Tom Moore High School, Ray Schmidt from Waller High School, and Wes Sutherland, valedictorian of Utopia High School.
And on the money side of it, thank the customers of the LCRA. We're a business. We sell electricity, and we sell water, and we do some other things. And there are customers behind each one of us, and we're spending their money today. So somewhere out there, when somebody paid an electricity bill or bought some water or took a service from the LCRA, a portion of what they gave us is being invested in you today, and is being invested in your future. And the payback's real simple. You saw about 40 versions of it, different folks doing different things,
making something positive happen out of their life. In a day and a time when a lot of folks think there isn't a lot to be positive about, see, there really is. There's still far more good news than there is bad news. We just tend to focus on the bad news. You're a big part of the good news. This ceremony is a big part of the good news. And there are a lot of folks who helped you get to where you are and who are counting on you going farther. And we do more than just give you money. We do support you. We're going to continue to support you and keep up with you. I know you noticed the internships. That is a part of the program that we try to do. And all that we ask is that you just spend the rest of your life as productively and setting high marks like you have today. It's a real easy payback.
Rosemary Seek, who has headed up the scholarship program from the beginning, is retiring in August. And as many past scholarship recipients will tell you, she has made a tremendous difference in their lives.
When I was graduating from high school, my future looked kind of bleak. I had been a straight A and B student, but I came from a broken home. My parents were divorced, and money for college just wasn't there. And just by a fluke, I happened to get an application for the LCRA, and I wasn't real familiar with the company, but I decided to go ahead and apply for it. And I came up here and met with Rosemary and 9 other board people. And they decided to go ahead, like Nash said, and believe in me. And they gave me the scholarship, and I wouldn't be out in the community today touching lives like I do if it hadn't been for LCRA. And here I go choking up. And like Nash said, I made some lifelong friendships and met some wonderful people, and I can never thank the company and Rosemary enough for what they've meant in my life.
I just want to tell Rosemary first that how much I really appreciate her. There were times when it was really tough, and you could call her, and she'd help you a lot. And LCRA second, it was a lot of money back then, and for them to come through with, and help me out, it was just tremendous. And all I gotta say is, y'all are lucky people, just like I was.
These kids are fabulous. They have just been the most wonderful group of kids you could ever imagine. It makes you realize that all the stories you hear on the news are not true. There are good kids out there. I think they're wonderful ambassadors for LCRA. They have a great impact on the community. It's a very positive impact. You can probably see some of them helping me get this together today. They're always willing to help however I need them to. They're just wonderful.
Good. I want to say thank you, and we love you.
Well, how you folks doing? I'm here in Austin, Texas today at the LCRA Multipurpose Center, kind of checking out the facilities. Now, I was reading in the LCRA news where somebody had written in concerned about the overall health and physical fitness level of the LCRA employee. And they were advocating that we start a physical fitness program by allowing employees to work out at lunch. And to do this, to increase the lunch period to an hour and a half. Now, for some folks, that would not be an increase. Now, I'm not sure that the typical LCRA employee has really bought into this healthy lifestyle concept. Matter of fact, some of the employees I know consider health food anything they might have washed down with light beer. Now, the general manager of the LCRA has got a group of managers that he refers to as a sumo team, which I am a charter member. Now, there are exceptions to every rule now. The guy I work for, he's concerned about his weight. He's so concerned about his weight that he refuses to quit smoking for fear he might gain a few pounds. Of course, the only one's going to benefit from that decision will probably be his pallbearers. Now, there is another little executive that's a semi-vegetarian. Of course, I say semi-vegetarian because I know for a fact she eats animal crackers. But I don't think she's a vegetarian because of her love for animals. I think she's a vegetarian because she hates plants. But you know, any physical fitness program is, you got to have some exercise. Now, my idea of exercise is a good brisk sit. But you know, the best form of exercise is laughter. If you think about it, when you laugh, your chest and your abdomen and 15 muscles in your face get a vigorous workout. And the event of convulsive laughter, I mean, where you're falling on the floor, rolling around, which will probably not be experienced during this segment of Wavelength. I mean, your arms and your legs and your whole body get a vigorous workout. Now, you know, there are people who literally spend hundreds and thousands of dollars each year in health clubs to gain this same effect. I say spend your money in comedy clubs because you get a whole lot less tired. Besides, you can have a few beers while you work out. Well, all this talk about working out, I've done worked me up a heck of an appetite. So I think I'll slip on up to the Colorado room and see if I can get old Mo to whip me up one of his world-famous bologna pot pies. So this is old Supreme Commander saying, you know, there's just not a whole lot of fun in medicine, but there's a whole lot of medicine in fun. We'll catch you next time.
It's quiet, it's renewable, it's non-polluting. It is wind power, and there is a vast source of it here at the Texas Wind Power Project in the Davis Mountains of West Texas. Interest in wind energy is on the increase in the United States and overseas. Texas ranks second behind California in wind power production, and Austin was chosen as the site for this year's American Wind Energy Association annual meeting. Hundreds of wind industry professionals attended the three-day conference to see the latest innovations in equipment and to hear how wind energy will fit into the electric power industry of the future.
Wind's perspective as it goes into the future is not only its financial hedge because it's a fixed cost resource, because it's capital intensive but low operating cost. It's also important from the pollution aspect, if you will, especially with, I think it's the Kyoto conference coming up this year with greenhouse gases, and the U.S. has said publicly that we are going to be promoting some sort of controls on greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide. Well, clearly all power types of generation emit that except for wind power and solar power and other types of renewables, hydro.
Foreman compares LCRA's venture into wind energy today to its roots in hydro generation back in the 1930s.
In June, the LCRA once again took the Fish Fry Show on the road, this time to Lampasas, where hundreds of community leaders, elected officials, and interested citizens turned out to share a good meal and visit with LCRA staff and board members.
I feel like it's very instrumental to a healthy and good growth in Mason County. And I've been excited about LCRA for a long time.
I'm so thrilled that Lampasas County has an opportunity to have LCRA as its friend. And this is demonstrated by this get-together tonight and the fish fry and all the people here in Lampasas County and other counties coming. We're thrilled to have LCRA as our friend. And that came about by some hard work between members of Lampasas County and LCRA. We got a bill passed in 1995 that created the 11th statutory member, which is Lampasas County. And that relationship is something that we cherish.
And a quick reminder before we say goodbye, the One Company meeting will be August 11th here in Austin at the Palmer Auditorium. We'll look forward to seeing everyone there. For now, that's it for this edition of Wavelength. We'll see you next time.